I represent older people, and I just feel that they need to be at the heart of things, because there's an awful lot of us, and I don't like this term that we're a demographic time bomb, because we're not. We're here and we contribute economically to the well-being of the country, and I would like to see that carrying on.
So it's an area in the whole of health that's always been a bit of a Cinderella. How do we deal with these older people? Another Cinderella has been in mental health, and I think TLAP needs to focus its making it real approach in mental health as well. And I think TLAP has a big role both with older people and in mental health.
Yes, and in younger people with disabilities too.
A key message for me is, I would say it's the elephant in the room, and that's funding, because we don't really talk about that, but for people who use services, carers, funding's a big issue, and especially with the austerity cuts and everything, people are worried, and we need to have an honest debate and discussion, you know, about how this will reflect for us and our lives. Everyone's got to be involved in that conversation, because if you look at social care, it's means tested, but in NHS, it's free access. There are two different models. How are we aligning those models? And we, as TLAP, should be being part of that conversation.
People with services need to get involved in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely, because it's that conversation's centred around us. So nothing about us without us.
I also need to be involved in promoting more co-production at the local level, including in the assessment process. It's about making sure that people are ready about equal share in what we require.
I've been a member since virtually the beginning. I think it was the second meeting of the co-production group, and you've been on for about 3 years. And although it's been, you know, a long time, I think that the National Co-Production Group is actually really making a huge difference. When we all attend at meetings, the different conversations and different quality of conversations that we're having now compared to 3 years ago is enormous. And I think that for a vision is that every conference, every workshop, there should be people who use services attending.
I would just like to see having a core group to do the easy read information and get more people signed up to making it real.
On paper, we have a good mix between health and social care, housing and education. However, in reality, there's still a dominance of social care. And I think in health and social care, we're still talking completely different languages. And I'd like to see Think Local Act Personal really pushing quite heavily to have much greater health involvement. And actually, for Think Local Act Personal to be seen out in the system, out in the wider world, as an organisation that represents health, social care, housing and education.
And I think that's a key aspect of our work for the future, is to engage in those areas where we can bring health and social care in particular, because both of them are, for want of a better word, big beasts.
Yes.
Both of them want to be the top, but really it's about the people in between, those people who use adult social care and those people who use adult healthcare services, and they do meet.
I'd really like to see making it real now that we've combined ourselves with the narrative. In the future, I'd like to see that as a single solution. I think merger is always difficult to talk about, but I'd like to see those two sets of statements being merged to create a single solution which taps into all the other NHS programmes like the Friends and Family tests and the quality measurements that they have. I think that's the best place for making it real to be.
I think especially in this time of, massive cuts and spending, we're looking at stuff that's outside of that, aren't we, around developing the personalisation of involving local communities and people and increasing people's circles of support as part of that. And what can I bring to my community to offer something? What are my gifts and talents for people as well?
Of course, the whole idea of personalisation started with disabled people anyway, wanting to get control over our own lives and do the things that we wanted to do. And I think TLAP has done some fantastic stuff since it started. Really developed lots of resources, but we need to take it further, don't we? I think in the next 3 years, so that personalisation, it's kind of a way of life, I suppose, would be my ideal. And that's why I think it's important that in the next 3 years we build on the co-production approach that TLAP has had.